Hello and welcome to One on One. I'm James Brown. In this episode, we spoke with one man about his love affair with songmaking.
It's like, where does the song exist? Is the song the recording, or is the song, this idea of a thing, that I can like pull out of thin air whenever I want?
When our show continues. Well, I like to start all of these the same way. What's your full name at birth, and tell us what it is that you do?
My full name at birth is Daniel Allen Jircitano. And what do I do? Is that the second part? What do I do? I exist. I mean, that's about it. I have a job, but I don't know if that's what I do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the job is what's done to me or something.
Like most of us, Dan is more than his job. He's a musician.
Let's see. I got a guitar in the year 2000 when I graduated from high school. And I just started, I just learned like two chords, and then I wrote my first song.
Well, do you remember your first song?
Yeah.
What was it called?
You almost don't want to know, but I'll say it. It was called the Snot Patty Shack Shanty. And it was based on some unexplainable, inside joke I had with my friends. So we actually started a band based on that called the Snot Patties, which we recorded quite a few wonderful songs subsequently. And so that was a lot of fun. And then I sort of took that kind of real, I don't know how you'd like very primitive style with me when I went off to college, and met some people who could jibe with that kind of flavor, not being super technically proficient or anything like that, and just being able to write and record songs real fast and real quickly and have a lot of fun doing it. So that's basically been my style most of the way. It's gotten a little bit refined, but for the most part, I would still say I managed to retain that a certain amount of primitiveness to the to everything. So, lo-fi, that kind of idea where the recording doesn't have to be perfect or pristine. You just, you go with the first take or the most spirited take. In college, we had a lot of names, but the main one was Blasting Trout Overbite, and that was...
Say that one more time.
Blasting Trout Overbite.
Okay.
That was our genius idea. To each one of us would write a word on or we'd write a bunch of random words on paper, and we just drew them out, to get that name. So BTO is the acronym.
BTO.
Yeah, just like Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so BTO was the college group, and we had lots of variations of that, but that tended to be louder than the Snot Patties, with electric guitar and bass and some sort of percussion. And then, we actually did some shows at various functions, like open mics, or we even eventually played some house shows at college, parties and stuff like that.
And then you landed in Rochester after that.
Yeah.
What have you been into in Rochester?
Well, we had a sort of a post-college band called Fune, who we played some shows around Rochester. And,
Fune.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Describe Fune.
Fune was the natural progression from BTO. Multi-track recordings, and got better equipment, so the songs became a little more structured and listenable for a wider audience, I would say. And then there were a few other groups I played in since I've been here, Like the Whiskers was an internet band where we just recorded our parts separately and put them all together, and made songs.
So you've been at this a while. I mean, I never felt the compulsion to produce music like that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I'm trying to identify, where
Yeah.
where the drive comes from,
Yeah.
and what it feels like.
First of all, like, I'm not great at writing songs or singing or doing anything really, but when I do write a song that has, is appealing to me in some way, like that's the, I don't know, that's the main part, is just having this song. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but making a recording of a song is almost like, I think it is analogous to making a painting or making a sculpture. It could be something that comes together really quickly, or it could be something that you spend a lot of time on. But either way, it's when you have it recorded, you sort of have this thing, and you can duplicate it and send it to people, and it's like it exists. I don't know. It's like the strong feeling of just like this thing exists. And what's neat about songs is once you've written a song, you can play it. You can copy like a CD, but you could also, pick up a guitar and like sing it, which is kind of neat. If you make a painting and you finish it and it's great, you still only have one painting, and you can make a copy of it or something, but it's not like you would go paint it again.
That's one of the things that I find fascinating about music is that, as you were saying, it lives.
Yeah, it lives. It's like where does the song exist? Is the song the recording, or is the song, this idea of a thing, that I can like pull out of thin air whenever I want, So that's kind of neat.
Do you have any theories on that? I mean, can you hazard a guess?
I guess that what's the central question here we're getting at?
Like what is a song?
What is a song?
Where does it exist?
Yeah, where does it exist? I don't know. I think for me, I like recordings more than playing live or something like that. I like doing recordings. So I think that's, for me, it's more about the art of sound recording. And I aspire to make something that, sounds cool in addition to having a good song. So it's kind of like two separate things. You could have a really good song that's just very simple and, it's just one, maybe one instrument and a voice or something like that. That could be the essence of a song, but then you can layer all these things on it and make it something, maybe it sounds epic or huge, or, you can change how it sounds or what's good about it by adding more stuff and layering it layer after layer. And that's the part that's sort of like a painting, you're just adding all these colors or something like that. So yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting that you say that that's your favorite, because like you said, it's more like a painting. It's less the living thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the process, I know, of putting together a song,
mm-hmm.
it very often takes longer than the process of performing the song.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. For sure. And that process is, you can really lose yourself in it. Or at least I do. When I am working on a song, I'll definitely spend hours, and just, it'll go by very quickly.
How does that feel? Like, what is that process of hours using? I'm assuming you're using some sort of software.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What are you getting out of it, and what's your process like?
What you're getting out of it is sort of like when you're totally absorbed in something. I don't know. That's a very that's, I think, a desirable feeling, especially when you're doing something for fun that you like doing, and just being absorbed in it and losing track of time. That's sort of, in some ways, that is the point, and also at the end result is something you can listen to and you have some sort of record of all this time. So it's sort of like the recording is the distilled effect of all the things you put in, like all the hundreds of takes, you might have played of a guitar part or whatever, and then stripping all that away and just having like the perfect, or maybe not perfect, but like the best parts of all that you've thought up, all together at once. So
thanks to Dan Jircitano for joining me. Music by Fune and the Whiskers. For One-on-One, I'm James Brown. Be well.
Think the coldest thoughts, the devil's in a pit of ice, and the muses screaming nocturnes while the lawman burns the public square. The inventor's hiding in his lair and he's warm as the heart's warm, and he's right to put the muses in charge. Think of light, think the lightest thoughts. Think the lightest thoughts of blinding all our enemies to escape the fair. Of blinding all our enemies to escape the fair. And let's not forget the latest sunset we'll offer up to the latest god. In heat death will never die. In heat death will never die. In heat death we will best them our graves better half, and destroy the void that had rocked and swindled and conned and fed the coldest of our coldest thoughts, the coldest of our coldest thoughts, the coldest of our coldest thoughts, the coldest of our coldest thoughts. And they're dark as the ends, dark and they're off to start the fuses again. Think of light and think the warmest thoughts.